I'm MacKenzie. I'm a biophysics PhD student from the University of Glasgow. Should add, I'm the only man on the bill tonight. That's not funny, but I still think I've got the best hair out of everybody here. And ladies, I'm worth it. Yeah, so with the hair, I'm actually trying to channel the spirits of great physicists, you know, like Isaac Newton or Brian May, but that doesn't work for two reasons. One, you can't channel the spirits of dead people, and two, Brian May's not dead. Yet. I'm not trying to kill Brian May. He's one of my idols. He's, you know, an astrophysicist and a brilliant guitar player as well, and he's got cool hair, you know. So, but I actually did astrophysics as my undergraduate degree, not biophysics, and my first astronomy lesson was at Catholic school. No, it seems unlikely, but they gave me some great advice. They said, Lewis, never stare directly at the sun, especially not page 3. It was also around about that time that I realised my favourite planet was Saturn. You know, it's a really beautiful planet. You know, I've even got it on my t-shirt, see? Yeah. But unfortunately I'm devastated because someone else went and put a ring on it. Yeah, that's a sort of standard joke we're going for. So yeah, as I said, I'm a biophysicist, so I work at what's called the Physics and Life Science Interface, which sounds really cool. I think it sounds like something out of Stargate, you know, a portal to another dimension of knowledge and wisdom. But in reality, it's been a bit of a letdown because I've only met one biologist, and he's the guy that sits next to me at my desk, so it doesn't really count. But on the plus side, I've started 3 interdimensional wars. But yeah, I do like doing my PhD. I've only just started it about 3 months ago. So currently I have about 6 graphs in my lab book, a broken camera lens worth £5,000, and quite a mild addiction to coffee, but it's going to be strong by the end. And what I basically do all day is I shoot lasers at blood. Which I feel makes me feel like a mad scientist in training, really. And we've got a sink in the lab, and it looks like something out of a Saw movie, you know. But what my research is on specifically is about ways of imaging the tiny little blood vessels and in your skin. So there's lots of ways of doing this, and I've developed a system to do this that will allow clinicians to monitor progression of diseases like diabetes, which affect your arteries and veins. And so I haven't come up with that yet. That's the truth. But in one of my fits of procrastination, I have come up with what the name should be. So I wanted to call my system the Peripheral Imaging System, which I think sounds quite nice because the acronym for that is PIMS. So it would be PIMS, right? But I can't use PIMS, that's the name of an alcoholic drink, right? Trademark. So I have to take out one of the other letters. And, right, you've got to the punchline before I have. Because it's either you take out the I and it's PMS, which is not good. You don't want physicists talking about PMS all the time. And you don't want to take out the M either, because then you end up with piss. And I don't want to spend 3 years of my life developing piss. So I'm just going to take a little peek in my lab book at the moment. Now, all good scientists, by the way, should have their lab book with them at all times. It's a bit like an abused pet you don't treat right. It's always there, it's very loving and attentive, but you don't really feed it well. And you abuse it a bit. And you really hope the RSPCA don't come around to look at it. Yes. So I'm doing this biophysics stuff now, but as I said, I was astrophysics before, and astrophysics is great, because astrophysics is what you'd call a sexy science, you know? No, you guys don't know. I'm going by my high school geography teacher's definition of sexy science, which he meant things like volcanoes, and glaciers, and pretty much just volcanoes, really. You know, things that were big, generally made a mess, and took tens of thousands of years to come. Astrophysics is a bit like that, you know, it's all exploding stars and rockets, it's all very sexy, it's great. But doing biology, well, in comparison, well, it's a bit shit. You can't deny some biologists literally study shit for a living. Feces. I learned that word yesterday. I don't want to insult biologists too much, because I don't really mean it, but in case they do get too offended, I'm also paranoid about them lynching me after the gig tonight, and maybe, you know, taking me to Edinburgh Zoo, put me on display next to the pandas under an exhibit titled Physicists and Pandas, Two Species That Can't Shag to Save Themselves. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've dropped these bits of cardboard. Just give me a little second. It's all falling to bits. That's my real lab book, by the way, I need that. Right, so, to finish off my set, I'm going to play a little game that I like to call Equation Bingo. And basically, I've got 3 equations here, and I want you to shout out if you recognise the equation. Just shout bingo or the name of the equation, right? So the first one is very easy. Can anybody tell me what this equation is?
Einstein's equation.
Yeah, it's energy, mass, equivalency, Einstein's famous equation. It's the equation behind nuclear power and whoopee cushions. That failed. Wrong one. This other set of equations, actually, does anybody know this? It's a bit harder.
Maxwell's.
Yeah, the one physicist in the room. This is Maxwell's equations. It's the equations behind all of electricity and magnetism. It's really fundamental. Physicists find it beautiful, you know, it's a bit erotic to them. Actually, Edinburgh Uni, they've got these equations on the floor in the physics building. Because they're so important, you walk all over them all the time. It's a bit bizarre. But I actually have a friend who's got these tattooed on his arm. And we never actually figured out if it was cheating to sit next to him in the exam. Right, now this very last equation has a special place in my heart because this was the first equation that I saw on the first day of my PhD just a few months ago, and my supervisor gave me this big book of biophysics. Not the bumper big book of biophysics, just but you know, it might as well be biophysics for dummies. And I thought, right, whatever equation it is on page 1, chapter 1, it's going to be really important. I'll probably be, you know, using it for, you know, every day for the rest of my PhD. I thought, whatever this is going to be fundamental and important. Does anybody recognise this equation? No, I didn't think so. This equation is about how light travels through boobs. I had to stop my childish giggling in front of my brand new colleagues. I had to make some sort of good first impression. But on that note, I shall leave you because you're all laughing at boobs. And although boobs are funny, that's to do with breast cancer. And so on that note, I shall leave you all.